Hey, what's going on, good people? Travell C.W. Lynch, Mr. What? Mr. I Am the Possible. I am the founder of I Am the Possible, and I am the author of the new book, What Is Enough? Listen, I am excited to be with you guys on this amazing Saturday morning. I want to share with you guys a little bit, actually after going live this morning, sort of this, impromptu live this morning. I really want to piggyback on that idea, okay? But if this is your first time ever watching me, listening to me speak, I want you to know that I help people to see what they are so that they can like what they see. And today I want to talk to you guys about you being a endurance athlete. Yes, even if you've never played a sport before, if you've never ran a marathon before, if you've never even walked into a gym before, in the gymnasium of life, we are endurance athletes. You've ever heard that phrase, life is not a sprint, it's a marathon, right? And what we're trying to express, what we're trying to say is that steady, see that little person right there? See how they're walking? Right, boom, right there. Steady gets us to our success. Steady gets us to our success. If you are watching me live or on the replay this morning, I want to thank you so much for your presence. Your presence is the greatest present that you could ever give to me. Our time we cannot get back. So I want to welcome you and thank you for hanging out with me for just a few moments this morning. So I entitled this live, Pace Yourself. Pace Yourself. And if you joined me earlier today on my earlier live this morning, and if you didn't, you can always go back and watch it. I was giving the example of a few years ago, I ran my very first half marathon. And I explained the pain and the suffering that I experienced and a lot of the mental anguish and the mental stress that I experienced during that race. And I want to just tie that in really quickly in the next few minutes. I want to tie that into our race of life, whether it's a goal that we have, some sort of dream or ambition that we have, something that we've set out to accomplish or to achieve, some sort of, something in our lives that we want to manifest or see come to pass. I don't know what it is for you, but whatever it is, if it's lofty enough, if it's big enough, if it's major enough, I believe at some point it's going to test you, if it hasn't done so already. It's going to test you to a point where you're going to have to practice what I call steady steps. It's this ability to go within and really decide that all that matters is my next step, my next step, my next step. See, I strategically positioned the camera today in my location. See, at a place where there's a lot of commuting. As you watch this video, you'll see some people walking, right? And as I continue to speak, there'll be other people. There's another, boom, right there. Someone's driving. The distance is the same. The track is the same. From one end to the other end, it's the same distance. One person in the car, one person walking. They're going to still get from the beginning to the end. But there's sometimes in life where we have to pace ourselves and we have to, maybe we're not in the car and we're just on our feet. And we have to settle in just taking the next steps. See, we all want to be in the car of life. We all want to zoom, zoom, zoom right down the road. And sometimes, depending on the goal that you have, you can get there just like that. But I've discovered and found that the greater, the more meaningful, the more influential, the more impactful, the more, get this, inspiring the dream, the vision, the hope, the goal is, the more it's going to require you to dig deep, the more it's going to require for you to change in ways that perhaps you didn't even expect to. It's going to cause you to maybe lose some loved ones or friends along the way. It's going to cause you to adapt and to adjust in ways that are uncomfortable. I'm speaking from experience, not only from the half marathon experience, but also in life. See, here they come again. See, some people were walking. Some people are on a bike. See, walking, bike, walking, bike, walking, bike. I like to try to tie things together so that you can engage as many of the senses as you possibly can, depending on how you learn and how you communicate. So I hope that you're tying this all together. See, this path right here, this represents your goal. You're going to start at one end and you're going to work your way to the other end, right? That's your goal. And there's a path and there are steps and there's distance between the beginning and the ending of your goal. And you might not be on a bike. You might not be behind the wheel of a car. You might be stepping it. But I want to encourage you today that you can and that you will get there. But there may come a point where even if you're behind the wheel of the car may break down. It may run out of gas. If you're on your bicycle, my family right now, they're riding a trail right now. They're all on bikes. They're riding a trail. And your bicycle may get a flat. The things that we depend upon, the things that we rely on to get us from A to B faster, they will often fail us. You'll often come to the end of your systems and your methods and your, those things that we rely on and depend on. Those things will often fail us, and all we'll be left with is what God gave us, what our Creator equipped us with. And so you'll be like those people that are walking. You'll just have to step it. At some point, your goal, your dream, your hope, your ambition, it may have you just stepping it. And I want to encourage you today, as one who had to step it in that marathon and who has also had to step it in life, whether it was attaining my iAMthepossible trademark. Maybe you've heard that story before in some of my other videos, right? The testing and the trials that I had to go through to attain, to get a grasp on the trademark for the vision that God's given me. Or maybe you know about the 2 books that I've written, one in 2008 and the last one just last year. I just finished up my last one last year, 2019. I released my new book, What is Enough? This is not a plug or a promo. This is to tell you that in both of those instances, there was a beginning and there was an end, and there was a long, steady, hard process. And at some point, whether it was in the marathon or writing my books or getting my trademark or some of the other things that I've achieved, if you've ever read my bio or gone to my website, there's a list of accomplishments that I've had in my life, whether becoming a personal trainer or ordained minister or, all these other things that I've been afforded by the grace of God to achieve. They've all come by steady steps. They've all come by at some point in time, I had to just take the next step. And I don't know who you are or where you are or what you're dealing with, but there'll come a point where, let me put my water down. There'll come a point where there's these 13.1 miles to your dream, just like it was in that half marathon. There's the 13.1 miles to your dream. But you know what? I had to take a step back at around mile 5 or 6 when it was starting to get hard. I had to say, how much is a mile? Okay, how much is a half a mile? Okay, how much is a fourth of a mile? Okay, how much is an eighth of a mile? These are the mental, practices that I had to go through. And I had to say, every 1 mile begins with this amount. And this amount had to begin with this amount. And I just stepped it all the way back. And I got into a pace. And I said, step, step. My trainer, my coach, Kyle Brown, he taught me, look at your feet. Focus on your feet. Focus on your feet. And maybe that's a message to someone. Just focus on your feet. Focus on your feet. Next step. Boom, that's your cadence. Boom, that's your cadence. Bow, 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 bow. Forget the 13 miles. Forget how long the distance is. Forget how many more things you have on your laundry list to do. Forget all of the pieces and the components to your dream. Forget all of, right, taking the whole thing. It's almost like eating a steak. You don't eat a steak in one bite. You take a fork and a knife and you cut the steak up into small, edible pieces, and you chew it and you eat it over time. You don't try to wolf down a whole steak. You cut it up in pieces. Well, that's your dreams. That's your hopes. That's your visions. That's your distance. You chunk it up in steps. I'm going to just be steady. I'm going to just be steady. I'm going to just be steady. And you just catch that pace. And let me end with this. My trainer taught me to catch a pace that I felt like I could run forever. That's the key to it. Steady and slow. Knowing and trusting that you're going to get there. You're going to appreciate your accomplishment even more. You're going to have a story to tell, just like I have a story to tell. You're going to have a testimony. You're going to have a new level of grit, right? And toughness and fortitude about yourself. You're going to walk with a different level of confidence about yourself. You're going to be able to parlay or to apply everything that you learned in that process to something else so that you can achieve and accomplish even greater things. Why? Because I'm the living proof of it. I didn't just read a book. I didn't just hear so and so say something. I'm living this. I'm breathing this. These lives, I'm just sharing my life. That's what I love about going live. I just share my life. I don't have to make it up. I don't have to try to come up with content. I am the content. You are the content. You're just sharing your life. I believe that life inspires life. Life inspires life. I've been through something that will help you. You've been through something that will help me, and vice versa, and so on and so forth. And so I'm just saying, guys, learn to pace yourself. Whatever your goal, whatever your dream is, if you're at a point where you feel like giving up, you feel like throwing in the towel, you feel like saying, listen, no more, man, enough is enough. I can't do no more. I can't handle no more. I got so much more to do. I feel like I've done so much, and yet there's so much more to do. Just find that pace a little bit each day. Some people call it a daily dose, just a little bit each day, a daily discipline, another step, another step, another step. 1 or 2 steps a day. When I was writing my book, it took me 2 years. It took me 2 years to write my book. 2 years. What if after 3 months, I was ready to call it quits? What if after 7 months? Imagine the people who needed what I was writing. They would never get it. They would never be encouraged. They would never be inspired. Something's on the line. You have a dream for a reason. You have a hope for a reason. You have a vision for a reason. You're traveling this path of life for a reason. It's on your heart for a reason. You have dreamt this dream for a reason. It matters. You matter. So you can't give up. You can't throw in the towel. This is just a tool that you can utilize. Pacing yourself. Just the next step. You might not have the car right now. You may just have your 2 little footsies, 2 little feets. Step, boom, step, boom, step, boom, step, boom. I won't even tell you that you're going to make it. Nope. I'm not going to tell you that. I'm not going to say that you're going to make it. You know what I'm going to say? I'm going to say you're making it. Yeah. You're making it. You're in the process. Your success is unfolding. You are making it. You're not just going to make it. You are making it. You're not going to just win. You are winning. You're not just going to achieve it. You are achieving it. This is all a part of it. You're right in the middle of it. You're in process. You're in progress. You are a work in progress. Your dream is a work in progress. Just keep taking the next step, y'all. Just keep taking the next step. You might not be on a bike. Just keep taking the next step, y'all. You are making it. You are crossing your finish line. I want you guys to be encouraged. I want you guys to check out the description of this video, okay? There's some things that are within the description that I didn't share on the live, right? And I do that for a reason, because I just want to flow. I want to be present. I want to be attentive to the moment. I don't want to just have to try to memorize things and try to be scripted. You know, I have a good idea of the things that I want to share, but I want to be natural. I want to flow. I want to be present with you. And so check out the description for more information, more inspiration, more motivation, more encouragement, more edification. This is why I do this. I'm very clear about what I'm creating. I'm creating this new culture. I'm creating this new concept. I'm creating this new idea. I'm creating this new level of self-awareness where we are being summoned to a state of satisfaction in and with ourselves. So I pray that something I've said, some illustration that I've given, has encouraged you, have moved you closer to that place. You are an endurance athlete. You can sprint, but at some point, the tank is going to get empty. But you can always step it. You can always take one more step. This is Terrell C.W. Lynch, Mr. What, founder of iAMthepossible, author of the new book, What Is Enough. I love you guys. I'm praying for you guys. And I believe in you guys. If you found value, drop that hashtag value. And if you know someone who may need this message, please do me the favor and share it to your timeline. Share it out, get the word out, get the message out. I'd greatly appreciate it. And those that are in need of it and those that are seeking this message, they will be greatly appreciative as well. You guys know what I'm trying to say. All right. You guys have an amazing rest of your Saturday and an amazing rest of your weekend. Until next time, peace.